traders, how's it going? It is Scott Schneider from the Live Trading Suite over in the Future Room at ShadowTrader. And we are doing a shadow short. We're going to go over a live trade that we did in the room this morning. And we're going to go over, the reasoning. So we have, Friday session was a pretty emotional sell that left 4 distributions. And so they left distributions in J period, in H period, in G period, B period. It was, a lot of excess in the middle of the day's range, not at the higher the lows where we're used to seeing excess. So it was a pretty big down day. And we wanted to see how the first 30 minutes was going to unfold. We had an overnight session that took place 100% above Friday settlement. So we call that, 100% net long inventory. And we didn't want to jump into anything right away, but we did after we saw this is the first 30 minutes of the day over here. This is today's session in A period, which for our room is from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. And you can see that the range was over 40 points. So we're 1 minute to 10 a.m. Eastern time, 1 minute to where we get the next 30-minute period. And we already have a range in A period that is larger or as large as the normal trading day in the ES average true range. So I am leaning towards a sell, but what I wanted to see when B period opened, how much it was going to fill of these single prints. So all of these A period, because it's the first period of the day, they're single prints, meaning there's no other letters, TPOs, or time price opportunities next to them. And there really can't be the first period of the day because it's the first 30 minutes of the day. So we wanted to see how many were going to come from B period, and then if it wasn't enough, if it couldn't get above the developing halfback or fill in some of these single prints, we were going to take a sell. And what happened actually gave us something that was more actionable, and it was in the form of a poor low that got formed in B period, and I'll show you that. So now I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to hit play. We're going to be at about 4 times the speed. This is today's session, February 24th, 9:59 a.m., about to go into B period for our room, which is 10 a.m. to 10:30. So the trade is pretty quick when it happens. So we're making new lows, but I want to see what B period is going to do. So now B period, which is, just started, it did something interesting. It left a poor low in its wake. Now, a poor low is given that term, and this is from Dalton, James Dalton, who has a new book out, highly recommend. And it lacks excess. So the B low only left behind 1 tick of excess at the A low. So we look at the auction as a continuous two-way auction. And that downward auction was at the moment, in that point in time, it was incomplete. Now that's not actionable on its own. It's just a piece of the puzzle that you would chunk together and look at other things like internals and VWAPs and whatever it is that's part of your toolbox. But it is, it gives you some MGI, some market generated information that if price were to revisit this area, we're going to see some excess, and how much, we don't know. But, whatever the market provides, you'll take. So I initiate a sell in about just around when prices, just around where price is now, around the 1775 area. And so I alert the room, it's in the first minute of the period, and I probably, that selling ES a third size because it's very early. We don't know what's going to happen at the 1775 mark. And so that's right here where price is. And the stop the stop was going to be above there by, by like 5 points, 4 points. With the goal being that when the market, so here's where I actually entered. When B period, I wanted to see B period stop going higher. So that was the entry around here. B period had topped out up here, and now we're going to get the excess. And it came in very fast. So I, took a piece off right away. If I'm in a directional unhedged futures position early in the morning, like the first 2 hours of the day, I'm not looking to marry that position. I'm looking to take some risk off. That's just how I am comfortable. That's what works for me. So, I covered a little bit at the 6,009 area for 8.75 points, just to lock in some profit and be able to, and then also move the stop to the 6,015. So now for the remaining position that we have left, which was only a third size position, I would have, the stop would be below the entry to lock in, make sure that this doesn't turn into a loser. And it starts to really increase the tempo down. And when it breaches the 6,000 level, I cover another piece, because I just wasn't expecting it to go that fast, that quick. And sometimes you got to take what the market gives you when the market gives it to you. So here, on that drop, once I saw that we were losing the 6,000 level, we lost it. I then wanted to, if it came back close to it, I wanted to be out. So as it comes back above it, I had taken a piece off at the 59.99 order, which was half of what was remaining of the initial position. And that was for an 18.75 point gain in the ES. And now we're keeping the stop at the 60.15 for the moment. But as we got wound down, I mentioned that I just wanted it to be I wanted to lock in at least a 10 piece. So we had moved the stop to 6,775. And once we got there, which is right around here, we're out of the trade. So all in all, the trade was less than 11 minutes. The trade was closed by 10:11 a.m. and the trade was open by around 10 a.m., 10:01, just after 10:01, just around 10:01. And the MGI that we got, the reason for taking it, it's, again, I know when I make these videos, people think it's to boast. It's not. We had a huge range in the first period, over 40 points. And so I was going to judge whether or not we had the poor low or not. I wanted to see how much of that remaining excess in A period that's at the high was going to get filled in. And it just wasn't a lot. It didn't even get into yesterday's, Friday's RTH range at the 24.50 level. So that, to me, gave me confidence on top of the poor low. So like I said, it's not actionable on its own, but it is actionable with other bits of MGI, other market-generated information. And so not being able to get above into Friday's range, made me comfortable taking that sell. And then when it works like that, you just want to, in my opinion, you want to take, some off and lock it in. Because if you stayed in that trade, as the day went on, we know that price went all the way back up, inside the RTH range. So it would have taken us out. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I hope to see you guys in the room. And this platform that I'm using for this profile is windowtrader.com. And that's no W at the end of window. So windowtrader.com. Take care. Hey, this is Scott Schneider from the Futures Room over at ShadowTrader's Live Trading Suite. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you'd like to trade live with me in real time, please click the link in the description below. Have a great day and happy trading.